Good morning and welcome everybody to our first forum, and it needs to be louder. All right, so in the future, gotta talk to the sound man. Sorry, Ken, didn't mean to throw you under the bus. Yeah, he was being careful because he doesn't want to blast your ears out. He's being sensitive today to y'all. Thank you all again for coming to our first forum about housing. This is Carmen Capanga. Did I say it right?
You did.
Excellent. And she is from Life Moves, and she's going to share with us some really needful information, but there's going to also be slides. So if you want to take a moment and get yourself situated so you can see the slides when they come up. For all of you online, we are going to be communicating with you. So if you have questions, please make sure to put them in the chat and we'll get them out to Carmen during the presentation. Thank you. And now to Carmen.
Thank you so much, Karen, for that introduction. Can everybody hear me all right? Okay, great. So my name is Carmen Capanga. I work with Life Moves for Life Moves. I've been with the organization for the last 2 years. I started back in October 2019. I work in the individual giving team, specifically working with small community groups, small foundations, individuals, and donors as well. Before I start my presentation, I just wanted to have a little bit of an interaction with you all this morning. And I'm going to ask a question. Just if you guys can give me an idea, what comes to your mind when you think of people who are experiencing homelessness in the Bay Area?
Lack of resources.
Lack of resources, yes. Anything else?
Judge parking lot.
Cold, yeah. Parking lot.
Well, we have people that park here,
On a rotation. Yeah. So we have that. It's cold, lack of resources, parking in parking lots, so it's safe for them during the night, right? Anything else? Judgment. Yes, a lot of judgment. So when we think of individuals who are experiencing homelessness, usually there's a lot of negative thoughts that is associated with individuals who are experiencing homelessness. Part of my presentation, I'm not sure if that's me doing that, but I'll stop moving. On the side. Okay, I'll try and hold on to it like this. Okay, sorry about that. So part of my presentation with you guys this morning is we're going to have a look at what are the causes of homelessness specifically here in the Bay Area, and what Life Moves is doing basically to combat the homeless population here in the BayArea. And then before I start too, just wanted to give you a brief history of Life Moves. So I think some of you have known us from our previous name. We are actually two organizations that merged into one. Back to it, first it was Envision Shelter Networks that when we merged, and then in 2016 was the birth of Life Moves when those two agencies merged to be one agency. And we've had a lot of community groups that still refer to us as Envision or Shelter Networks, but we are still the same organization, just operating under a new, different name. Let me go over some of our vision and mission here at Life Moves. So at Life Moves, our vision is really a community where all our homeless neighbors have a home, right? Our mission is to provide interim housing and supportive services for individuals who are currently suffering from not having any homes. I can give you guys our numbers. So this is our most recent numbers from fiscal year 2021, where you can see that 47% of our revenue comes from government funds, 19% comes from foundations, 17% comes from individuals, and 12% comes from corporations. We have about 5% that comes from in-kind donations. In-kind donations include aspects such as volunteers, anything that's non-monetary like clothing donations, linen donations, houseware, you name it, they all fall under in-kind donations. Sorry. I'll just hold this like here. Next. Okay, but let me just try to hold this. I think that'll be better. Okay, but we can't really talk about our programs and services without really discussing the causes of homelessness, right? Here at Life Moves, we identify two major forms of homelessness. One is chronic homelessness versus situational homelessness. Chronic homelessness is what we sometimes have the tendency of seeing in the streets, right? These are individuals. Chronic homelessness usually affects adults, and they're usually associated with high rates of mental health and substance abuse. On the other hand, situational homelessness typically tends to affect individuals, couples, and families, and are a combination of different situations listed on the screen, such as substance abuse, mental illness, soaring cost of living in Silicon Valley, stagnant wages, loss of jobs, divorce, separation, eviction, or significant life events, physical disability, intimate partner violence, natural disasters. So in 2019, just to give you guys all a clear understanding or deeper look at how homelessness is affected here in the Bay Area, this is a survey that was conducted by Point in Time. The survey is conducted every 2 years, and when they conducted the survey in 2019, they found out that 46% of women reported a history of being physically, emotionally, or sexually abused. 45% reported having at least one disabling condition. 42% experienced job loss, and 36% were experiencing homelessness for the first time. And the crazy thing is that there are nearly 4 people experiencing homelessness for every sheltered person in the Bay Area, in Silicon Valley. And one of the other shocking thing is that California, right, and specifically the Bay Area, is the third largest leading city, I guess, with homeless populations in the U.S. I'm going to take a brief break to get reminded. Okay, I'm back. Can you all hear me? A little high? How's that? Okay, let's try this again. Where was I? So let's look at the facts, right? A lot of people have asked us if we're ever going to venture outside of the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. And our question usually is, this is where we see the most need, right? If we look at the numbers, right, and we look at the cost of living in the Bay Area alone, right? For a one-bedroom apartment, you're looking at anywhere between $2,000 and up, right? Starting from the city of Daly City, $2,270 just for a one-bedroom apartment. The most affordable place, right, looking at this map right here, I would say would be $2,699, and that's in San Mateo. When we're looking at other cities around the Bay Area, right, like Hayward, you're paying something like $1,870. So So we see that really the cost of living here in the Bay Area is one of the highest rates that we can pay just for a one bedroom. When you're looking at a family, for example, a family of 4 who's making about $117,000, right, are actually categorized as low income. But that's a lot of money, right? Like 117,000 isn't chump change, but you're considered low income if you're a family of 4. That just shows you that the numbers and the cost of living is really it's really contributing to why people are falling into homelessness. And we can look at the numbers too. We see an increase all the way from 2015, 2017, and 2019, how the homeless population has increased year to year. But here at Life Moves, we actually have 26 shelter sites, all the way from South San Francisco to South San Jose. We have 14 interim shelter sites, 3 temporary housing sites, 3 permanent housing sites, and 6 day service sites. If you guys are aware of the Opportunity Service Center in Palo Alto, it's located right behind Town and Country. That's actually a drop-in day site that we operate. It's open at 7 in the morning and close it at 4. Individuals who are experiencing homelessness are able to come there, get connected to case managers, get shower tokens and shower, get a meal, and then basically, but those are the individuals who are experiencing chronic homelessness. And that is also one of our sites where we try and help the homeless population. Let's look at our numbers and where we serve. So as I was saying, we have 26 shelter sites, South San Jose all the way to South San Francisco, which is basically Daly City. If you look at all the blue little houses, the blue little houses are indications of where our family shelter sites are located, and the orange little houses are where our individual shelter sites are located. About 25% of our clients are children. We have 3,751 families with children, 5,605 single adults. About 75 of our clients identify with the LGBTQ plus community. 842 of our clients are veterans. 374 are aging seniors over the age of 65. 2,150 of our clients have mental health diagnoses, and 2,618 have behavioral health diagnoses. But thankfully, Life Moves has a proven track record, right? We honestly believe that we need to help our clients and meet them where they're at. We have seen that an 86% increase of families who are living in our shelters and 67% increase of individuals who have engaged with our services in the last few years. So you might be wondering, how do we do exactly what we do, right? So at Life Moves, we really want to practice a hands-on approach where we're meeting our clients where they're at. We don't have a one Band-Aid fits all. Once we have clients that enter our services, they are matched with a case manager that gives them one-on-one help and assistance. This case manager will follow up with them, get them connected with different resources that they are qualified for within the state, within the county. We also ask our clients, once they have secured a job that the case manager has helped them find one, to save up to 80% of their income, so that when they're ready to transition out of our services, they have enough for down payment or first and last month's rent. We have a program also known as Upstream here at Life Moves. Basically, what Upstream is that we have partnered up with the Chan Zuckerberg Foundation and the Sequoia School District, where we identify children who are at risk of falling under homelessness, experiencing homelessness, and we intervene to basically get them before the conditions get severe. We also have an exiting program called Connect. Once our clients successfully exit our shelter networks, we stay in contact with them for up to a year, and they have an opt-in, opt-out option. Basically, we stay up to them connected, and we ask them how things are going. It's very much light touch interaction or case management that we give them. And we've also found that this is really helpful because sometimes our clients, when they transition to stable permanent housing, they're kind of rebuilding their lives, and just to have that message that says, oh, good morning, how's your morning going, or somebody checking in on you makes you feel very loved, or like you matter, like you're important, somebody cares for you. And we've seen that our clients who stay connected with us are the ones who are more successful because they have that light touch connection. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys two of our newest programs that we are very excited about here at Life Moves. During the pandemic, we had the opportunity to open 2 more shelter sites. The one on your left, as you see, is Life Moves Coast Site Inn. It's located in Half Moon Bay. It is a former motel that is 52 rooms that we transition into a shelter site. That shelter serves families and individuals, and it has been operating, I think, for the last 5 months. And then the one on your right is Life Moves Mountain View, as we like to call Home Key. This is modular housing. They are basically container units that we rapidly deployed to be able to serve our homeless neighbors. This is a 100-room shelter site, and it serves about 125 individuals, both families and individuals at the shelter site. What's really, really cool about both of these sites is that it's been a really long time since Life Moves has actually built a shelter from the ground up, and with Mountain View Home Key, we were able to do that, and with Coast Site Inn, we were just able to service more of a population in Half Moon Bay, where there is also a degree of homeless population right there. But I'm going to show you now a quick video from one of my colleagues giving you a deep dive of how Mountain View looks like inside. Oops. I don't know why. Just a second.
That's okay, Carmen. All our technology always works right all the time. Do you need to be online for the video to play?
I don't need to be online,
Okay.
but I don't know why it stopped playing.
Okay. I'll say something to them while you work on that.
Okay.
We're getting good at this vamping thing. I'm just gonna have a time for questions and answers.
Oh yeah, I actually needed to be online, sorry.
Okay. Do you help her get online? Okay. Here, can you help? Thank you. Okay. You reached the limit of your knowledge. There's only one, Cupertino. In a few minutes, we'll do some Q&A. For those joining us online, there'll be Q&A as well. So I just want you to go ahead and think about the questions you might have for Carmen here in a few moments when you do that. So this is your prompt to be. How we come?
Almost there.
It's thinking.
It's thinking, aren't we all?
Oh, sit.
Is it 0? Okay.
Cupertino, 0, the I is a 1 and the O is a 0.
Yeah.
And the capital C.
Both O's are 0?
What's that?
Both O's are 0?
There's only one O.
That's why I'm spelling it wrong.
P1.
I don't know why I changed the U to O. It's so...
Thinking.
Yeah.
Thinking.
See? I told you.
If that one doesn't work, why don't we try this one? St. Jude's Wi-Fi. Same password though.
Yeah. I'll spell it right this time. There we go.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yep. I got it. I was telling people.
Okay, I think we're back to business.
Oh. I'm still not connected.
Six months ago, this site was a former car storage facility for abandoned vehicles. Today, we are opening our doors for over 124 people who were formerly homeless. People like you and I, mothers, fathers, even children. The only difference is they didn't have a place to call home. Well, this is going to be their home, so let me take you on a tour. On site, we have 12 family units to support up to 36 people. Probably have a bit more space when you have families, plenty of space to store the toys and the books that are needed. So important to have that own bathroom inside the units. We want to facilitate and make it easier for the kids to live on a site like this or live in a community like this. If you've been homeless for just one day, that's a traumatic experience. And if you have children, it's 10 times more traumatic. Giving the kids something fun and colourful like this really makes our hearts sing. This is the most important part of the entire site, to give somebody their own private I wake up, I'm dry, I have my phone, my possessions are still with me. So what do I need to do next? I need to go and get a shower and get ready for my day. If you want privacy and dignity, you don't want communal bathrooms. Again, you want that private door. And as you can see, they're ADA accessible because we want to make sure that this community is open to all and that we've created an inclusive environment. This is a game changer when it comes to solving California's housing crisis. What we've achieved here is utterly astounding and remarkable. Within 6 months, we've gone from an former car storage facility to 100 housing units.
Yeah, that's one of our pride and joy. Life Moves home key, Mountain View. So if you guys ever wanting any site tour, we have started giving small site tours, but very on a case-by-case basis because we're still trying to be very mindful due to the pandemic. Next is one of our shelter sites, which is in San Jose. This is Julian Street Inn. We like to call it JSI. JSI is it's in San Jose. This site provides interim housing to adults working to overcome mental health illnesses. We have about 86 clients, 11 of whom are veterans. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of our adult sites don't get a lot of love, right? A lot of people don't want to give to a lot of our older single adult sites, but this site is one of the sites that really needs a lot of help because a lot of these individuals are really trying to work to better their lives, and this is just a short 3-minute highlight reel of our clients located in JSI.
My name is Arthur. My name is Sayed. My name is Monica.
My name is David.
My name is Brian. My name is Michael.
My name is Jesse.
My name is Eddie. Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I've got a name. I've got a name. Like the singing bird and the croaking toad, I've got a name. I've got a name.
My name is Arthur.
I'm not trying to play him again. But I think what's really special about that video, right, is that at one point we see clients holding up their keys and shaking it. And for a lot of those clients, those are the first time in their adult life that they've ever had a pair of keys to their own home, to their own house, you know. Things like that that I could take for granted, where to have my own keys, to put it inside the keyhole and turn the latch and walk into my own home. Like, for them at that age, that's their very first time that they actually have the privilege of having their own home, having their own keys, which I always find so special. And you can see the joy in their faces and how happy and delighted they are. But that does bring me to the end of my presentation with you this morning. And I know we're going to have a Q&A section, but if I also wanted to share this my last slide, where if you want to further engage with us or get involved, there's different ways that you can get involved, that you can get engaged with us here at Life Moves. You could always make a financial donation. You can also organize a donation drive. We are constantly in need of items for our clients. It's the winter season right now. Winter is upon us. Items such as coats, gloves, socks, blankets, linens are always in need. You can sponsor a meal. For all of our sites, we try and sponsor meals, so you can get together with some friends and family and just make a meal for like the whole site. And if you want to, and now that you've also know a bit more about our clients, you can become an advocate, carry on the conversation with your friends, your families, and your neighbors, your congregation, you know, that'll also be great. So thank you so much again for your time this morning.
Thank you, Carmen. Are you time for questions?
Yes.
All right, looks like.
Yeah.
Always ready. I really appreciate that. I notice you're meeting people where they're at.
Yes.
And in other charities I've been involved with, you know, single men who are maybe not sober all the time or have their own problems, they go, oh, you can't be here. Mm-hmm. But people are where they are, and you're meeting them where they're at. But on the other end, I appreciate the keys, but there are also different endpoints. And what I saw there was people in their, quote, interim housing living their fullest because there was community. And stuffing somebody in a one-bedroom apartment who doesn't know how to cook a meal, doesn't have any friends, doesn't know how to clean a bathroom. There are other endpoints except that one endpoint. Different people have different needs, and the communal thing, you're talking as interim, but is it sometimes appropriate for that to be the endpoint? You know, small rooms, communal, I mean, that's also important for the soul.
Yeah. Completely understand your question. Can I get your name, please?
Nancy.
Nancy. Okay. Nancy, that's a really great question. At Life Moves, right, we have like different programs, and one of the great things is that they get to live in a communal setting, right, where they also get matched up with a case manager, teaching them those skills that they need. And then sometimes we'll have like opportunities or in certain situations where clients, right, won't do while living in a one-bedroom apartment by themselves. That's why we also have like congregate housing where they are able to stay with other individuals. For example, in Cemetery, we have the Vendome, and the Vendome is where it's basically permanent housing, but for a specific demographic of individuals, so that if for their mental health or for their own emotional needs, if they need to stay within a community, then they are able to live that way and not be in a one-bedroom by themselves with no family or friends.
One more question.
Yeah, go ahead, Nancy.
Or comment. In my demographic, you would think I didn't know homeless people, but I do. I know people with college degrees who are sleeping in their cars, going to my office to work. They may, have family in Salt Lake City, but we are growing all these jobs here, and almost as a revenue generation, I can see an organization like yours providing dormitory-style housing, and companies like Google and Apple renting or participating in this dormitory-style housing.
Yeah.
But it's a real hot button with me that we allow all these jobs and offices to come in, but we're not balancing that with housing. And our municipalities could demand more of that. And you guys could be the valve. the
Yeah.
safety valve.
Yeah, and we have asked them to step up. We have partnered up with like Facebook and Google, and we've asked them to step up. And I think here at Life Moves, we are actually moving away from building dormitory style in transitional housing. That isn't the way that we want to move forward anymore, because a lot of the time too, right, why some of our case managers have a hard time getting individuals to come into the shelters, right, because they don't want to be in a dormitory style setting, right. They might not have a lot of possessions, but the fear you could have, like, oh, my things are going to be taken away from me, my privacy, I don't have a door. At least for them, like if they're on the street, they have their tent that has some kind of privacy, right. And so we're recognizing that and trying to move away from that. That's why with Mountain View, the Home Key, where we have actual rooms that has a door where you have some privacy, but it's also in a community setting. Yeah.
But even for middle income people,
Yeah. I think there's a question right here.
So two related questions.
Yes.
You talked about exit for some people. So what percentage of your clients? What percentage of your clients, in fact, are transitional and can exit? And I'm talking about overall. And how long do those ones stay in your programs before they are able to transition?
Got it. So the typical length of stay at one of our shelters pre-pandemic was about 90 days. During the pandemic, that has been extended. So we're looking at 3 to 6 months length of stay. And that's just how things are because of the pandemic. When a client successfully goes through our program, right, about 30% of our clients actually end up moving outside of the Bay Area or in different states or counties because they just can't afford it. Like, the truth is, the cost of living here in the Bay Area is crazy expensive, and no matter how much you work or what kind of job you have, and if you have family, it's just really hard to live here in the Bay Area. You either had to have family, roommates, or living in generational homes, right? So 30% of our clients actually end up moving to Sacramento, Fulton, Stockton, really away from Silicon Valley, and they have been really successful where they don't fall back into the pattern of experiencing homelessness.
So hi, my name's Gwen. I was wondering kind of how you came to work for Life Moves, like what your personal, like, educational / career journey was.
Yeah, so how I came to work for Life Moves. I was a psychology major, and I changed a few times to journalism. Then I changed to communications, where I was trying to be an SLP, speech and language pathologist. I went to San Francisco State University, but before I went to the Yanza for junior college, I was experiencing my own form of homelessness, basically, where I didn't really have a home. My housing situation fell through the cracks, and I was kind of couch surfing. So we're getting kind of personal here. I was couch surfing with friends, felt very exposed and vulnerable, not really having my own home. But I kept on thinking and saying, like, God, like, one day I want to help people who are in my situation, right? Because I came from like a pretty decent family. My family's not here in the US, they're in a different country. But I just was down on my luck, right? And I was like, man, like, I'm just down on my luck. But I do know there's other people who are basically down on their luck as well. But I was more concentrating on students, right? But I went to school, I did an internship for another nonprofit, and then I looked up Life Moves, really loved what they're doing, because I had a personal experiencing homelessness to a certain degree. And then they had an opening, I applied, I got it, and I've loved it because I think it's very fulfilling. I think for me, it's like, I look back, I'm like, man, like, God did use my struggles that it was only a period of like maybe 6 months that I was couch surfing, but he saw me struggling and he heard my tiny little prayer and he helped me come full circle to be actually in a position where I'm helping other people. Might not be students, but it's families and it's individuals. Yeah, question right.
So you have transitional housing. And the percent that are successfully transitioned to their own housing tend to leave the Bay Area. What's our solution in the Bay Area?
What's our solution to the Bay Area?
Yeah. I mean, how are we going to provide housing when it costs over $100,000 a year for a one-bedroom apartment?
That's a really good question. Can I get your name, please?
My name's Janet.
Sorry, one more time?
Janet.
That's a really good question, Janet. And it's a question that I wish I knew how to answer and I had the answer for it, because it is a problem. We saw the numbers, we saw the stats, we know the cost of living, we know that every year it's rising and rising, right? We know that tech companies are moving in and are employing a lot of people and then building dormitory housing, right? But something has to be done here. So we're really trying to, with Life Moves, like we're trying to work with the counties and the cities that we're in and really trying to put them on points like, hey, recognize this problem. This is the work that we're doing. What are you going to do to help us combat homelessness in the Bay Area? Say that again?
You're doing that at Life Moves?
Yes, yeah, we are.
What? I'm a homeless person. I lived in a van in the parking lot here, and I'm a stroke victim. So words don't. But I.
It's okay. We'll tell you more later.
We can come back to your question.
Yes, this is a very timely topic. I've heard, and you probably have known, that in San Francisco they're moving people who are homeless into hotels. Would you care to comment about this, either pro or con? What do you think about this idea of their solution to that problem?
So with that, right, here's my thoughts on that. We also have a motel program here at Life Moves, right? So, but with our motel program, the solution is to get them off the streets so that they're not in those harsh conditions, right? Because it's terrible, especially in winter. Like, we're just nearing winter and it's already really cold right now, right? But if you're at night, it's even worse. So to get them out of those conditions, but also couple them with a case manager to get them connected to services and not just, here's a hotel, stay in a hotel, get off the streets, but actually give them a step-by-step solution. So I am pro that, and I fully vouch for that if it's coupled up with case management to aid the individuals.
Let's take one more question. Gwen?
Yeah, so I was wondering if you could talk a bit more about kind of the advocacy side of what your organization does and like working with cities and counties and kind of what that looks like, because that's like the type of thing that I'm kind of interested in. So yeah, if you could talk a bit more about that.
Yeah, so the advocacy that our organization does. You're saying the advocacy that our organization does, right? So there's different types of advocacy. We do have presentations like the one I'm doing right now. We have portfolios of donors, right, who we just keep them like connected. We have these things also called virtual site tours, where we offer it up to, it's virtual, so anybody can sign on from wherever you are located. You don't need to be in California or be in Silicon Valley, but you can learn about that. We try to really even with our clients that we serve, right, all our case managers are very much insightful and educated on the different resources that are available for our clients and individuals. And we also try to educate our clients as well as we're basically helping them. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Carmen. Looks like we've got two last quick questions, and then I want to say a brief parting word, and we will express our thanks to Carmen. So Kathy, Brock, and then...
Thank you. My name is Kathy, and my question for you is, a lot of what you talked about was lack of availability of space to put people, but you also mentioned the importance of caseworkers. And in today's world, where I know a lot of service-oriented jobs are having, or organizations are having a hard time finding staffing, can you speak to the adequacy of case management services that are also available?
Yeah, so all our case managers have to have a degree, right? And they get training and they get educated. They all, before they start off actually managing clients, they go through, I believe, a month or 2 months of job shadowing to make sure that they are equipped and knowledgeable of how to really help our clients and not just be there. And we actually saw an increase when I started back in 2019. I think we had about just over 200 employees at Life Moves. We have almost doubled that, and a big percentage of that is case managers to help our clients.
So you're saying that the people available to do case management is not an issue at this point. It's not one of the constraints. You can get them trained and you can get people that want to go into that way.
Yes, yes.
Have you had any luck working with the city of Cupertino directly?
No. Short, sweet answer is no. I think that the cities that we have had luck working with are the cities where homelessness is more visible, right, and in your face, and they are more compelled to do something about it and to get a solution, such as San Jose. Mountain View saw that because for a period, if you went on Longhorn, you'd see a lot of the RVs parked up, right? Redwood City as well, RVs parked up. And so they really wanted to partner up with us. That's why we have 2 safe parking programs actually in Redwood City. And then we opened the Mountain View shelter because they recognize that, hey, we need a solution because a lot of the individuals who are experiencing homelessness are from that neighborhood, right? But when you don't really see something visibly in your face, then you're like, it's not my problem. I don't need to be a part of the solution, which is not right, in my opinion.
Thank you, Carmen. Let's give Carmen a big hand.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can you stick around and chat with us and hang out? I think we still have some coffee and snacks if you would like anything. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm really grateful that you hung around. This is our first hybrid forum that we've had now that we're able to do that here in the courtyard, and we have folks joining us online, which is just fantastic. Next week, we will do this again. In addition to our In-Gathering Sunday, we will also have a forum with Cupertino for All. So speaking of Cupertino, an organization here in Cupertino focused on housing and among other things. But right here in Cupertino will be speaking with us. Neil, what's Neil's last name? McClintock will be with us. And are you on the board, JR? JR is on the board, so he knows of which he speaks. And then the next week, November 21st, Destination Home, which I found out about because of Life Moves, which works with homelessness, but goes kind of the next step beyond with actually building housing for folks, long-term housing. They will be with us on November 21st. So part of this whole series we are doing, not just these 3 weeks, but over these next like 5 or 6 months, where we are discerning housing together, both clergy housing, what does that mean for us at St. Jude's, but also affordable housing and how we might be involved in Cupertino for those who are most vulnerable and need it most. All right. Thank you all so much. Feel free to hang out, chat with Carmen, get another cup of coffee, or if you need to take off, have a lovely afternoon.